Hey everyone, welcome to the first video on my car review channel. For the past 3 years or so, I've been running a boat review channel on YouTube, and I wasn't planning on starting a car channel, but when BMW gave me this BMW 330i with the M Sport package as a loaner vehicle for the weekend, I couldn't resist the temptation. I personally own a 2011 BMW 3 Series. It's a 328i xDrive, and the enthusiasts will refer to it as the E90. So it was quite a good way for me to get a comparison of what the older BMW was like and what the new one's like here today. So this one has got the 2-litre, it's a BMW TwinPower Turbo inline 4-cylinder engine. It's a 16-valve engine, and it has got a lot of power and performance to it. This particular one benefits from having the M Sport package as well as the M Sport package Pro. So you're looking at the Portimao blue metallic paint. It's got the black perforated Sensatec package included, but the M Sport gives you these 19-inch wheels, and the M Sport package Pro also upgrades that, so you get the painted red calipers, and it really sets it off well. This one's got Bridgestone tyres on it, and although I've not been doing anything crazy, at no point have I felt the wheel spin or the traction lose on this. You see here we've got the 2 exhaust pipes at the back. She does have a really good noise to her whenever she's in sport mode, although I suspect most of that is electronic and internal noise rather than actual exhaust noise. She's also got features like whenever you lock the car, I'll do that just now. Whenever you lock it, the mirrors automatically fold, which mine do not do in the E90, and they obviously pop back out automatic whenever you unlock it. One other difference is I can walk up to this car while it's locked, and if you just go to unlock it, you can just touch the handle, and as long as you're close enough to it with the key, it will open it by itself. You're also able to open the trunk hands-free, which is really beneficial if you're carrying something heavy. And again, you don't have that option on the E90 either. And if I pop the hood for this one, here you can see it's got a 2-litre. This is a TwinPower Turbo. It's a 4-cylinder 16-valve engine. The M Sport package boosts this one up, for it's got around 255 horsepower. Plenty of power for a car of this size. You'd swear it was a much bigger engine with much higher horsepower when you drive it, especially in sports mode. I like the fact that all the components that you're going to service and check on a regular basis are easily accessible. And then BMW does have a good warranty package if you want to buy something like this brand new. I can't say I'm a big fan of all the modern BMWs. I think some of them have got really large grills for a car of this size. But I think this one has been styled really well, and I really like the blue and black accent. I think it just finishes it off to a very high quality feel. One of the biggest differences you'll notice with this car is when you step in the inside compared to my E90. This is all mod cons in here. The seats are very comfortable. This has got a great way of having luxury feel to it, but at the same time they do have the bolster effect where it keeps you in place whenever you do drive it in a sports manner. Also like the fact you've got this dark overhead, so if you don't want to have it with the sunlight coming in, you can close that, but it is all retractable. And then of course you've got the sunroof up top, and you can open that all the way back, or you can pop that up instead. You also have the fact that these seats, you can slide out forward and give you extra support. And then you've got the glove box here, which is locking. A decent amount of space, but nothing great. And then you've got your mod cons here with all the electronics. And I do want to point out, I drove this last night, and one of the things is when I'm driving a car, I normally have all the illuminations as bright as possible during the day. It's just a habit I've got into, but at night, because the screens are so large, it's really bright. So one of the ones I have done in this is I've changed it so that it's supposed to dim automatically at night, but I've not yet had a chance to try that out. You can customize a lot of this. You've got the system down here, where you can go into all sorts of menus. You can use a touchpad, or you can have a touch screen. You've got all sorts of options. You've got your Android Auto, you've got your Apple CarPlay. You can change a lot of the settings that you want. You can even change the color accents that you see throughout the door. You can set them up for different brightness, different colors. There's so many configurations you can do here. You can also have the live vehicle, and you can test a lot of the features out of the car which you don't get to see typically yourself. I put my foot on the brake, you can see the brake lights up here. You get to test the turn signals on the car, which I didn't know was possible in a BMW because you never see them get used. You can also have different apps built into it. You can change things like how often the doors lock, whenever you drive off. You can unlock it when you walk up to the car. All different features available to you. And if you have a look around here, you'll notice there's very few buttons that you can actually use to control anything. So things like your climate control, it's all controlled from up here. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just seems to all rely on this system, where I prefer having the option to be able to control it down here. You've got the stereo control, so the volume up and the left, right, so you can skip tracks or you can change radio stations. And then you've got your defrosters for the front and the back window, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is all operated from up here. As to the main dash, you've got different controls. Right now this is in comfort mode, and in comfort mode it's a really good way of describing the car because the steering's responsive without fighting it. The throttle's the same way, the brake's the same way, but you can change the displays in here. You can, if I use this scroll wheel on the wheel, you see that now you just got the speedometer, and you get the speed and the revs. You got a different display here for the same thing. And I can also change the content on here. So you can do it for just looking at the different fuel options. You can also have it for a navigation. And you can even have it as the map itself. If you want to put it in sports mode and have fun with it, you can also measure the G units on it. And then you can also control the media from here too. So you got different options with it. And when you change the modes for this car, a lot of the displays change. So if I go down here and I hit Eco, you'll see you get different control options up here. And in terms of Eco, this one is very economical to drive for a car of this type. It's got a city driving of 25, it's got a highway driving of 34, and it's got a combined of 29. So it's a lot better than what I'm getting on the E90. One of the ones that it does do in Eco is it's got the stop start, and whenever you've got that on, you will feel the engine cut off, especially whenever you get to traffic lights. And I had it in comfort to begin with, and then you can switch it over to sport. You can see the dash changes on this one. I don't know if you'll pick it up in the camera, but you can also hear it changes the exhaust note in here as well whenever you put it in sport mode. You can configure it, you can change how you want the steering, whether you want it sport or comfort. You can change the drivetrain, sport and comfort. You can also do that with the transmission. And you can obviously reset it to standard as well. And down here, if I lift this panel up, you'll see we've got two drinks holders. This is actually a wireless cell phone charger. You've also got USB connection here, and you've got a 12 volt connector here. I'm old enough to remember when that used to be a cigarette charger. You can switch your traction control off. You've got your parking sensors, you've got the stop start. By default, when you're in sports mode, the stop start is switched off because the car's always ready to go. You got your gear selector, which is different from what I've got in the E90. So we've got reverse, neutral and drive. To put it into park, you're basically in neutral and then you hit the handbrake button. You can do the auto hold and the handbrake here as well. In the center armrest, we do have storage. And here I've got my keys, wallet, cell phone and things like that. You do have an access point here to charge up your cell phone. One thing I'd point out though is the lid for the armrest has got this recess in it. So you actually get less storage in here than it looks, because this is going to force it into the inside of it. Another feature I don't have in my E90 is this one's got paddle shifters. You can put it into sports mode whenever it's in drive, and then that way you can control the gears. In my car, I slide the gear shift over and you can use it for plus or minus to go up and down the gears. I have to be honest, in most cars I've owned and driven, I always used either the paddle shifters or the gear selector to change the gears myself. But with a BMW, I never do that. It always feels like whenever you're in sports mode, the car knows when to downshift, the car knows when to upshift it. I never feel like I have to manually do it. So they do work great. You have the minus on the left, you've got the plus on the right, but it's just not a feature that I personally use. This one's got all your cruise controls on this left, and you can also set it as a limiter. And the limiter, I think, something you will use a lot on this car, because as you're driving it, it is very easy to hit speeds that you don't realise you're doing. And then over here, we've got the controls for the lights. I always just leave it in automatic, but you can manually change it if you want. It's got memory seats built into the side of the door. You can also control the windows and the mirrors. And then down here, you've got your drinks holder. You've got the latch for opening the trunk, and then you've got the latch down here for opening the hood. And one area that impressed me compared to my E90 is in the back seat. Because I'm 6'2" and I've got the driver's seat in my position as I'm driving. But I've got plenty of room sitting back here. I also have plenty of headroom overhead. Back here you've got AC controls, and I can set that to automatic. I can control this. You've got 2 charging points for your cell phone. Also deliberately left the car seat in here because I wanted to show anybody that uses car seats will tell you they are horrible to set up in cars. But this one's super easy because you already have everything marked out. You got your anchor brackets right there, and then there's one overhead, but it's just super easy to access. And whenever you do that, car seat's not going anywhere. As for the middle, you can bring this down. You got the armrest, you can open that up, you got the drinks holder. And what you don't get in my E90 is I can also close this back up, and I can pull this all the way down, and that way you've got access to the trunk, but you can also carry larger things that lead right through. And then we've got the trunk space here. My E90, I'm not able to put the back seats down, but on this one you can. You pull these 2 buttons here and it pops right down. Now one thing I can do, which I'm not able to do in this one, is on my car this lifts up, and where the spare wheel normally is I've got additional storage, but I don't have that on this one. You do have storage on either side. So the real question everybody's going to want to know is, what's it like to drive? And if I start off in comfort, you can see the steering is very light and easy to use. The throttle's super light. One thing it does that I don't like is every time you go to drive off, the seat belts pull back. I don't care how many times I go and drive off, I always forget it does it, and it just pulls you straight back into the seat. It's a bit annoying, to be honest. But in comfort, you can see here it is very quiet, it is very calm, it is super easy to use, and you feel like you could do long distance driving in it without any issues. And although it is set up for comfort, it does have a great way of being easy to drive with the throttle. But if you need to accelerate fast, you can just push it and it does it for you. You don't have to worry about changing modes or anything like that. If I switch it into Eco, you'll see that it's very fuel efficient, and then when I come up to the stop sign, it's probably going to do the start or stop feature, depending on what's going on with the air conditioning. I'm not always a fan of the stop start because of that. Like in Florida, it's 100 degrees, you get to a stop sign and it switches the AC off. I get it, you might be saving fuel, but at the same time, it'd be nice to keep that aircon running. So if I sit here, there you go, it's just switched the engine off and it says it's ready. And as soon as you put your foot on the gas, away she goes. And then I'll switch it into sport mode and show you the difference on that one. Once I turn around at this junction. So straight away you'll notice it's louder in here. The exhaust note's definitely got a throatier punch to it. And then whenever you want to go, just put your foot down and she is ready to go. And the other one I like with this one is it's easy to get mid-range torque out of it. It's like a lot of the times whenever you're driving, it's sports cars, they always talk about 0 to 60 and things like that, but if I bring the speed back down, so if I've got it in drive, and you just push it, it just goes. There's no hesitation. As soon as you put your foot on the gas, it is off. So I'm in a section of road that's got a much higher speed limit, so I can show you the takeoff better. And from a standstill, it just goes. It's a very, very quick and responsive car when you have it in sports mode. As to the price point, the 330i sedan starts around $45,950. For the sport version, add the M Sport and you're close on $50,000. But once you start adding a lot of the spec and options that this one has, you're not going to get much change back from 60 grand. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, especially since this is the first video of my new channel. I welcome all feedback. Appreciate your time and watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks everyone.